Hello, this is a Mojave 4S. Now if you've been following the channel since the start, I got this sort of around about August, September time of 2025. It's had a couple of outings in some videos, and in the last video I kind of sort of fell back in love with it a little bit. If it wasn't for the Mojave Grom and how good that is everywhere, this would have been my absolute favourite of 2025. I'd heard good things about it. Go and watch my video if you haven't watched that one already. In the video where I've compared it to the MGX 10210 because it's 4S, I believe. It wasn't running great. I did a few things to it, but managed to rebind the controller and the receiver, and I got it kind of running not too badly. So I kind of want to get this back on form. So I've bought a few bits and bobs for it. We're going to chuck them all on, and I'm going to show you what it's needing and what it's getting. So check this out. So short of a good clean, it doesn't really need anything on the shell other than I'd like to get a new shell because it would look nice and fresh. So we'll get this off here. So we'll start at the front, whole new bumper and mount, or sorry, the new mount for that one. There's also a new skirt to go in the front, which I've got here. So I can keep that bit and we're good to go. There is the old mount, which I've kept the fittings in. As you can see, the steering is sitting a little bit of a funny angle. That is because I'm going to renew some tie rod ends, the little sort of balls that kind of sit in there. I found that the steering was really sloppy. I had an upgraded metal steering linkage in there, which it just didn't really pan out very well. So I'm going to redo that. I'm going to redo the front arms. Missing a little end off of the front sway bar. New fan for my motor. And I'm hoping it is going to be pretty spiffy when it's all done. These are for the fan, so don't worry about those. I don't think there's really too much was needed on the back end. So yeah, let's get stuck in and we'll get things repaired. So here's my parts list. New fan, some new front bumper. I can't even read that from here. So we've got some tie rod ends, some new bolts there. I've got some sway bar mounting sets, new front bumper valance, and some pivot balls. That's what I was thinking about before. With the pivot balls, I don't know if they seem to dry up or what, I don't know, but I seem to give quite a bit of slop in the steering. So that's why I want to go and just refresh those pivot balls once I get the rod ends in. So that is everything that is going on to the Mojave. Going to stop the footage, and if you have a look at the difference at those sort of track rod ends, you can see that they do need replaced from time to time. There you go. That is everything done. This is looking a bit tricky. I was having a bit of trouble getting that rod end in here. So I'm going to sort this out so that the wheels are going to be tracking straight. Let's chuck a battery in it, see if the fan works, and see how it sounds. Right, so I did tighten up the front sort of tie arms here to give the front wheels a bit more of a, I suppose, like toe out kind of setting there. I do believe that helps the handle a bit better, especially if you've got a little bit of toe in on the rear wheels. So let's get this switched on and see what's what. I still think the steering's a bit off, but that's all good there. I think it's time to get this out for a rip.
No. Silly.
Ta-da! Hello, look at this place. This is Newton Stewart. I'm down in the borders of Scotland, so I'm a wee bit away from home, but if you can see here, doesn't look too shabby, does it? I got the Mojave squared away. I'm going to stop talking and let's just get to the ripping. Let's go. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Let's just get to driving it and getting it off some sweet jumps. How does that sound? Before we get into the driving, we've got the Hobby King Turnagain 4S battery pack up in here, and we're going to have a little 4S and 6S face off. So if you follow the channel, you will know I've got a Shiroi 6S, so I'm going to have a ripper with this on 4S. You saw earlier that I'd managed to get everything kind of working spot on with it, hopefully, and then once we've done that, we are going to have a wee blast with the Shiroi. So let's go. So Mojave and its natural habitat, and me being unable to drive it, I have, I suppose upgrades wise, I have only got some GPM shocks on the front. But for whatever reason, that's a little bit squirrely than what I remember it. Again, it has been a while since I've kind of driven it on any sort of gravel or tried to, suppose, just to keep it on a track. But as you can see, I have gone with the white wheels, because who doesn't love a white wheel and some RWL tyres? Oh. Well, I'll maybe try and go for that jump again. Let's see what we can get. Now I've put a different servo on it, and I'm not too sure if it's kind of what I'm after. So I've got the steering dual rate right up, but still seems a bit tricky. Oh, where have we gone? Here we go. But short of me being a doofus with the steering, because as we all know, if you've been at this hobby for a little while, ooh, that's a bit coggy. Arrma servos aren't really the best, are they? But boom. Ah, please tell me I caught that. fine with a handheld setup, but I don't know if I'm catching much action. But regardless of what I do to this thing, I still absolutely love driving it. But I've got to say, I've never really known it to cog as much as what it has been doing. Does seem a little squirrely. I'm turning it as well, but if... Oh, where's it gone? If I turn that dual rate down, don't really seem to get much steering movement out of that. I think I may have to have a look at the servo horn as well. Doesn't seem as cool. Squirrely now. Oh, I thought I'd landed that one, kind of. Oh dear. Dreaded nose bash. But for sheer sendability. Now I know I don't have come on. A wee bit better than that, surely. I don't have another 6S to compare the Shiroi to. And I don't know what a Mojave 6S is like. Something about the steering. Trunk up a bit. Come round a bit, man. As much as I do like the 6S, there's just something immensely chuckable aboutable with this thing, short of my issues with the steering, which I do think... it's gone again. At least I can turn right, or left even, but, oh. This thing is just so much fun. It's just so, it just flies so well. It's so balanced in the air. Right, I'm hoping that it is just going to be something that's stuck in that annoying little hole in the bottom of the Mojave. Let's see. Ooh, go the back a wee bit. Right. So that brand new skirt I've put on the front there, that's not lasting very long. Ooh. I have got no turning capability one way. That's not ideal. I think my servo horn is a little bit sickly. Got everything connected here and there's just no resistance. Drits. yeah, I think as much as I had some fun with that there, and there's a little bit of footage that I've got, dear me, I don't bring any tools either. So it's time to go and get the 6S out. Now it's a Shiroi's turn. I'm running another 6S battery from Hobby King, and this one, and it is, have to say, one of the smaller batteries in here, which I do know sometimes, I think it's a 6000 milliamp 6S that I've got, and it's about the size of a blooming shipping container. So now you've probably seen my full review on this one. Unfortunately, where I stay, don't really have anything overly close which resembles a BMX track. I want the pump track. Oh, where'd you go? That's all right. Which resembles a pump track, but oh man, look at that bumper. We need to go to some RC Spares action for that. Wee shout out to my boy Finlay. So, oh there we go, that's completely off now. So, little 6S 4S comparison. Jeez, whoa. Well, as you can see there, if I'm hopefully I caught that on camera, that was absolutely ridiculous how high that went there. And it landed. So that was very pleasing. I'm gonna go and do that. Right. Now, short of me, do you remember I've only been doing this since sort of July last year. Maybe made a bit of a pig's ear of that of the Mojave steering. And I've just made a pig's ear driving that. But there's something about when you get it right, that Mojave steering setup. Now, I've probably talked about that quite a lot in my other videos. So it's too busy concentrating driving there. Talked about that in the other videos. It's got a lovely sort of feel to it. And feels very, very planted. Probably, oh, big spill. And another one. Compared to the Shiroi, there's just a strange, a bit more of a connection. I can't. Say a bit more of a connection. It just feels a bit more planted, a bit easier to slide, a bit more predictable maybe. That's maybe what I'm looking for. A bit more predictable. Oh, that's fun. Now, I believe that this was Corally's answer to the Mojave, albeit there is a Mojave 6S, and unfortunately I don't have a 6S. I've only got this in 6S and the Mojave in 4S. But there is something eminently, again I'll use that chuck about ability with this one. I'm going to have to be careful here because I don't want Not to hit LVC, but I just don't want that to cook that motor just yet, because it does have a tendency to overheat because I have put the bigger pinion in it. But it just seems that the Mojave is just a bit more planted. It hugs the deck. Now it could be the suspension setup, I don't know. If you know, give me a shout in the comments. And I think, yeah, I've got the speed pinion in this, and I've also got a million CST diff fluid in there as well. And I have noticed, God's sake, but it doesn't seem as tail happy as it has been before. Like when, can't see what I'm doing, there we go. When it had that thinner fluid in the centre diff, and it seems to grip up a bit more on the grass, but it still has that, it's not as forgiving as the Mojave, especially when you throw it about like that. So you do have to be a bit more on your toes, especially with it being 6S. Yeah, just... Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Just seem, yeah. So the Mojave just a bit more forgiving. I'll just let you away. Hello. Oh, this is keeled over, literally. So yeah, the 4S is a bit more forgiving with the suspension and how it's turning in. Whereas you have to be a bit more on the ball with this. And I wonder what I've done here. Okay. Right, let's have a wee feel about inside. That motor is there. I wonder. Yeah. You could fry an egg on that motor. So I think the Mojave is telling me it's kind of done for the moment. So I'm gonna get it switched off. Yeah, if I can. Give it a wee chance to catch its breath, and I will get some POV shots in once it's cooled down, because this is actually a pretty rad little place. Just a shame it's almost 2.5 hours drive from the house. It's a shame I can't have something like this on my doorstep, but maybe my RC cars will thank me for that because I won't smash them up. We've had a lovely day, so why not try and ruin it? And I'll show you how. Right, I had a little idea. I've got one pack left, and can I get the Shiroi off here? Probably I'll clear the fence and hopefully get it to land on its wheels sweet over there. Camera set up, car's good to go, so nothing else really left to do but send it, I suppose.